All right, we're back with part two with Johnny, the great Johnny Platt. And John, you spoke about, in those 5 years at Central's trying to do as much as you can. You said, you just didn't get to win that flag. You've gone to Hawthorn and ended up a four-time premiership player.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. As I said, just a kid from Elizabeth who just loved playing footy and and we talk about opportunities. I know that we talked about that last session, but I took the opportunity to go to Hawthorn. Lee Matthews had just retired from Hawthorn in '85, so there was a fairly big opening for myself to take over his shoes. My first 6 years in Melbourne playing with Hawthorn, played in 5 grand finals to win 4 premierships, and it's amazing. You look back now thinking, oh wow, how good's that? But it was also hard work, because we were a good side, and it's always hard to stay in a good side. So I was fortunate enough that you keep working hard, you do what you got to do, and things pay off for you.
Absolutely, mate. That four premiership, to be a 4-time premiership player, can't get much better than that. But you did in 1987. You won the Brownlow Medal as well, which is the highest honour in football. Yeah. How amazing was that?
Oh, that was good. As I said about the Maghera, you don't sort of play to win all these types of medals, but lucky enough to have a good year. We made the grand final that year, but unfortunately Carlton beat us in '87. But it was my second year in the VFL, and it's all about working hard and working with a great group of blokes as well. We were an enormous side. We had great coach Alan Jeans. We had great players. Some of these blokes that when I went into Hawthorn in '86 had already played 4 grand finals before. '83 they won, '84 they lost, '85 they lost, and then we won '86. So all of a sudden, they've been in grand finals for the last 3 or 4 years. So I get there, I'm thinking that they're going to be tired of playing grand finals and playing finals footy. But we finished up playing in 87 we lost, 88 we won, 89 we won, we didn't make it 89, then 91 we won again. So it was a great trip to be a part of. And,
unbelievable.
Yeah. So and to play with those group of players, Dipper, Dermot, Dunstall, Langford, Tuck, Ayres, Pritchard, all these amazing blokes.
Some seriously amazing names. And talk about playing footy in the 80s. Obviously, I remember as a kid, my pop sitting me in front of the TVs watching the Biffs, Bumps and Brawls videos that used to get sent out. Yeah. Playing in the 80s, it's just something else. It's great to look back at it now and look at that footage. Yeah. As a player, how was that?
Yeah, it was good. There's a lot of stuff which went under the table quite a bit, but that was footy back in those days. And that's what you didn't know. That's all you knew about getting in and go and get the ball as hard as you can and things like that. So I might be a bit biased in saying this, but I reckon some of the best footy I played and I've seen, and that is through that 80s and 90s. I'm not sort of saying that because that was my era, but you asked a lot of people, and people sort of come up to me and they say, look, John, the 80s and 90s are fantastic, and we love that type of game, and it's not around anymore and things like that. But it was fun. It was you could do what you want to do on the ground and do what you want to do off the ground as well without getting too much
trouble
and too much trouble and that sort of stuff. So it was a great time of my life.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And obviously, another great honour is being inducted into the AFL Hall of Fame as well. So you're a Hall of Famer in Australian football now. How does that sit with you, as you said, as a boy from Elizabeth?
Yeah, beautiful. It sits really nice. It's a great opportunity because you get a free ticket to go to Melbourne every year, and so it is. It's wonderful, and we had that a few weeks ago, and it's one of the greatest nights of football. You've been a part of the Brownlow and the Gary Medal and stuff, which is great, but to go along to the Hall of Fame, and it's not so much to. It's great to see your players which you play with, or you play the players which you played against with back in your era and everything else. It's the guys who get inducted that you think, oh, this is so wonderful. I was a Carlton supporter when I was growing up, and Kenny Hunter got inducted this year. And I thought, oh, that is just so good, because I was a Carlton supporter, and Kenny Hunter was one of my favourite players. I finished up playing against him when I went to Hawthorn, and I think, oh, this is so good. And he tells a story, when he lived in Perth and how he got to Carlton and things like that. But there's other great stories which you hear when they get up and what they've done, where they come from, how they got there, and how they finish off. And it is an amazing night. It's a great night.
It's a fantastic night. It's fantastic that they now televise it and give the public a chance to be able to watch it, which is also great. But just got one last one for you, Flats, and that's the nickname The Rat.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Oh, there's a few stories go around with it, but it was pretty much. I went to Ireland in 1984. I was playing here at Centrals, and I was lucky enough to play in the All Australian side when we went to Ireland back in 1984. And there were 6 blokes from South Australia who were playing in the Sanford League. That was Kernahan, Bradley, Motley, Aish. Did I say Kernahan? And myself.
Yep.
It was 6 of us anyway. So I was rooming with Kernahan, and one morning we had to get up for training, and I sort of woke up and I jumped in the shower, and I had longer hair then and more hair on top and things like that. So I jumped in the shower. I said, Kernas, I went in his room and said, mate, you've got to wake up. You've got to go to training. And there I am, sort of sitting over the top of Kernahan with my hair dripping red. He looks up. I reckon I scared the living donuts out of him. And he says, oh, you look like a drowned rat. So from there on, it pretty well much. Kernas sort of said that. He's a rat, so yeah. But anybody tells you anything different, it's not true. Okay? So that was the days, and they were great times.
That's fantastic, mate. And I do have one last thing I want to ask you about. And State of Origin footy, obviously that was a massive part of your career. How good were those days? And would you like to see the current players get the opportunity to do that?
Well, I would like to see it come back, but it's always hard work. It's times have changed and things like that. Trying to put this game in the right section of the year where hopefully no one gets injured and play like that. So it's something which I think it might come back, but it's going to be hard work trying to get it going. Back in our day, we would do everything to play state football. Remember the days back in the 80s, and there was 50,000 people at a footy park. It was amazing, to come back, not to get booed. It was a good thing as well. So, but no, you ask all those blokes, McGuinness, McDermott, Kernahan, Bradley, Motley, all these blokes, they would do whatever they can to come over here and play state footy, and they loved it. We loved it. We love beating the Vicks. We love beating WA. But it's something now that it's got to be in the right time of the year and the right place of the year as well. So hope it does come back.
I hope it comes back. I think there's room there for it. But John, we thank you very much for being a guest on Inside the Kennel and talking about your great career, and hopefully the boys go well on the weekend.
No worries, thank you, mate.
Thanks, mate. We'll be back with more.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
mate.
Welcome back, Doggies fans, to Inside the Kennel. We've got a star-studded lineup again tonight. There's plenty of going around. Starting with me tonight, we got Dylan Weave. Wizard, good to have you on, mate.
Matthew, good to be here, mate.
You've been keen to get on from the start.
Yes.
And we finally got you on tonight, mate.
Yeah, look, I think you were ignoring my messages at the start, but no, it's good that persistence has paid off. I'm finally here.
Just saving you for a special time is what I said to the boys. But and we've got the great man, Gilly. Nick, good to have you on board, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, the second biggest reigning doggy show after the gala red carpet. So yeah.
Well, I was just about to say I had to put in my notes that I was a bit nervous to get you on because I didn't want to lose my job of hosting the show.
That's fair enough, mate. You're doing right so far.
So far so good. Yeah. I could be gone by the end of the night if you put on a performance. Last week, the Twos,
yes.
they had a fantastic win, mate.
Yeah, super win. The boys are in a really good spot at the moment. A lot of energy about the group. Really, really, really young team. But the energy, the excitement of the boys. We had 4 young kids under the age of 19 come into the team last week.
Yep.
And they were superb. All did their part really well, and they're just looking to keep going on that track.
And that's a big thing as well, four debutants last week, and it was a bit of a shaky start in the Twos, but you then hit your straps and a few big bags of goals as well from Nick Lange, and it was a big Falkenberg
Big
as well.
Spoons, Big Spoons, Falkenberg.
That's a positive sign for those boys.
Yeah, super sign. Nick Lange's second game back for a couple of years now as well. And then obviously you had Cooper and Ben Wilder come off knee reconstruction. So if your boys just still finding their feet, you're going to get those teething problems in games where there's lapses, just because of the fact that they're fresh faces and not used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, along with that, Coop got his first snag as well when he first came back.
He did it at Super, and the best thing is about those sort of things, the boys get around him. I think, who was it, someone in the back, young Tyrone Miller in the back pocket went all the way up to the forward pocket just to get around there. So that's the sort of energy that two team as well. That's why they're going so well.
Absolutely, mate. And we better not forget your own performance, a BOG performance from yourself. Just the 29, 30 touches.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So don't want to talk yourself up. This is the time, mate.
Yeah, I've just been going back and just trying to get some confidence back in my game and just doing what the coaches ask. So yeah.
Beautiful. It was a ripper on Saturday, and talking on plenty of disposals, we'll go into the man himself, Cole Presbury. What have you thought of his performance so far with quick hands?
Mate, I had it's good chance, but the chance to work with him on the red carpet, and I pretty much took over on that. So far it's a bit rough. I reckon he's got 2 more weeks left. The rest I reckon he'll be getting the cut from that.
I reckon he's been put on notice after your efforts so far tonight, Gilly. So let's go and have a look who's Cole's got on quick hands tonight.
It's time for the quick hands with Cole Presbury.
Here we are, Doggies fans, for another round of quick hands. Here with the man himself, ready for his league debut, Steve Burton. Steve, welcome, mate.
Cheers, Prez. Thanks for having me.
No, mate, the pleasure's all mine this week. So, you're a big fan of the segment. You know how it works. We're just going to get straight into it, mate. Biggest week of your life so far, mate. You're getting ready for your league debut. You've been asked on quick hands. One of the biggest segments going around, mate. How's it been? Whirlwind?
Yeah, definitely. I'm probably more nervous for this than I am for my actual league debut, but we'll see how it goes.
No, I love that. I love it, mate. It's a big thing getting on quick hands these days. Everyone's queuing up. From the start of the year, mate, you've been the captain of the twos. I've heard a few things about your game day speeches. Do you want to run us through a little bit about them?
Yeah, well, I remember the first game, I only got told about 40 minutes before the game that I was going to be the captain. And it's pretty much just winging it most of the time, and then I stutter a fair bit, stuff up heaps.
Mate, I love that.
Try to get the boys red.
Mate, I love that. That's me on this segment, mate. That's me here. Also from the Barmaroos.
Yep.
What was it like growing up out there?
Yeah, I loved out in the country. Had the lake right next to the oval, pretty good for recovery. And then, once got to the seniors, the club has pokies and stuff, so that's pretty handy as well.
God, I'm lucky I'm not playing there, mate. Anyway, and you're known as the Sluglet, as we like to call you. Where's that come from?
Yeah, so that was the pre-season. Nick Madden gave me the nickname. I'm still not 100% sure why, but he just said I looked like a slug when I was running, and it's managed to stick.
It definitely has stuck, mate. You've been telling a few of the boys you're the reserves McGarry favourite at the moment. Is that true? Bit of confirmation?
I don't think I've said that at all.
No, he hasn't. He's a very modest man, Doggies fan. This is a weekly question. We ask our guests what's their most used phone app. What's yours?
Mine would have to be Facebook. I reckon.
Facebook, just a stock standard Facebook sort of bloke. Yeah. Fair enough, mate. And your favourite person at the club?
Yeah, I do like you a bit. You've said you're my biggest fan.
Yes,
which is always nice.
Yes.
But yeah, a couple of boys in this corner here I'm pretty good mates with. Hannah's, Painey and Billo.
Yeah, they're the little crew, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the biggest pest at the club?
You're a bit of a pest, and then...
You're kidding.
Yeah, and...
I'm excited about that.
Who else? Hosco is a pretty big pest as well,
agreed.
I'd say.
Big time. Anyway, mate, that's all we've got time for this week, Doggies fans. Here with Stevie B. Get down to X-Convenience over this week to see the great man in his league debut. Can't wait to see you there, Stevie. Good luck.
Cheers, Prez.
And boys, pretty interesting from Prez again tonight. He had Stevie Burton with him there, so a good laugh.
Yeah, the big slug is a good egg, that bloke.
Yeah, and Gilly, let's get straight into it. Let's get into the two side from this week. A fair few changes.
Yeah, a few changes. We've got a few of the young boys back from the under-20 side last week, so they come back in. So Michael Ortiz, Brett Montgomery come back into that squad, as well as young Oliver Shaw, back from injury after a bit of a 2 or 3 week period there on the side. He comes back in, and then Dave Hayden and Darcy Visani at this stage have come down from the ones.
So, some real good league experience there coming back into the reserves. So, yeah, the boy, obviously yourself, one of the outs going up to play league this week. We'll move on to that with a few others, but they're getting some good experience back in the reserves.
Oh, they are big time. All those names have either played league footy or league trials this year and in previous years. So the experience has just gone into that side to help those young boys out. It's going to be a great advantage for them come Sunday.
Absolutely, mate. And Weaves, league on the weekend, probably didn't get the chocolates, but from the previous week against Sturt, you certainly fought a lot harder this week and probably stayed in the game a lot longer.
Yes, no, we were definitely in the game a lot longer and felt like we had chances to hit the front and take control of the game, but unfortunately missed some crucial goals at crucial times and they went down and scored.
So obviously said crucial goals at crucial times for them. What was the message coming out of that game? We obviously, like I said, a lot more fight out there. What was the message coming out of the game?
Yeah, so we were happy with the character and effort the boys showed. It was really good that when our backs were against the wall in times, we responded and snagged a goal or two to put us back within striking distance. We're just a bit disappointed with it. We sort of had a few structures and plans going into the game and we just didn't quite execute them as we would have liked and potentially may have cost us the game.
Absolutely, and obviously the boys have got very uninjured Crows this weekend. So going into this week, what's sort of been the chatter when taking on the Crows?
To be the best, you've got to take on the best, and they I think they've got 20 out of 21 AFL players playing. So it's a fantastic challenge for the boys, and we're really looking forward to it and keen for the challenge. And
to both of you, it's pretty exciting for you lads as well to be able to come up and play against AFL listed players. It must be pretty exciting to play against a team like that.
Yeah, like we say, you always think, what would we like to play AFL? This is a bit of a taste of it, I guess, playing against a team that's pretty much full of AFL players, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, and Weaves, you've been back in the ones for a couple of weeks, putting together some solid performances, just starting to come back into your own there?
Yeah, obviously you got dropped 4 or 5 weeks ago and spent 2 games in the twos. Along with a few others, and the main thing was just to keep my attitude right, go back, find some form, and come back to league level and make an impact.
Absolutely. Take us through that league side for this week. Some really exciting changes for the club.
Yeah, mate. So we've got 4 potential ins, one being the great man here, and the other 3 potential debutants in Steve Burton, Ryan Falkenberg, and Mitch Payne. Birdo from the Riverland, one of Gilly's prodigies. Mm-hmm. He's worked his backside off this pre-season and season, been super consistent and deserves his spot. Falky, obviously, I think he 5 last week. Sorry, he's been put a few really good performances together, so he deserves his spot. And Mitchell Payne, defender that's really probably come out of the ground the past month or so, playing some really good footy in the twos. And also deserves his spot if he gets it.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic for the club. And a bit of a funny one taking on the Crows on the weekend. So the reserves, we're at home here at the Ponderosa, and the reserves are taking on Norwood at 11:15. And the league, they got the Crows at 2:10. So, bit of a different to your normal setup.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And it is a funny one with these AFL teams coming in, both having reserve teams this year. You do play a few teams in reserves twice, 3 times, a few more than normal. But the boys will just do what they do best and get cracking and go straight in.
I think it's better than having the bye for the reserves, isn't it? So
you
rather do that.
Yep.
And as we said, each and every week we've got the Guernsey here. It will be signed by all the players by season's end. We've got to get Coop Darms onto that to get it sorted. So like and share the video each and every week. And as I said, each time you do it, so we're up to week 3, if you share the video 3 times, you've got 3 entries to win the Guernsey as well at the end of the year. So keep liking, sharing and supporting the boys, and make sure you get down here on Saturday. Get down here and support the reserves, and it's going to be a great weekend down here at Doggyland. Gilly, thanks for coming on, mate. You've been fantastic tonight.
Thanks, mate. Good on you.
And Weeds, good to have you on again, mate.
Pleasure, mate. It's been real. It's been good. It just hasn't been real good.
Wow. We'll end on that note here at Inside the Kennel. We'll be back next week. He's very happy with himself, so enjoy the weekend. Good luck on the weekend, boys, and we'll be back shortly.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind that.